Hi, in this video, I'm going to share with you Aimee's story. And the reason she came into the Purpose program was she saw one of her friends who she'd known since teenage years. She kind of like felt her energy changing and vibing and was like, what's up? And then she sees this post from her friend just completely honoring her story, loving all of her cracks, letting her light shine through, and saying that I just did this course called Purpose. And Aimee was like, well, I don't even care what it is. Like, I'm in. Like, whatever you have, I need it. This is insane. This is amazing. So Aimee came in because she knew she wasn't living up to her full potential. She was actually having night terrors so gnarly that her roommate thought that like people would break into the house. She would scream, like so scary and so insane. Anxiety. So she tried yoga, pranayama. She worked with, did so many courses. She never had a problem investing in teachers or courses or coaches, but she just didn't know and didn't feel safe, didn't have tools and strategies to support her coming in to her body. And again, man, your body, this present moment is really the only place we're safe because it's like everything else it's like a nightmare video game. Like your mind, it's not happening now, so there's no end to how deep and dark your mind can go. So through the Purpose program, Aimee has learned how to embody. Anxiety is gone, and if a thought arises, she knows exactly what to do because when we fight something, it gets stronger. Sleeping, embodied, present, and she is living her purpose and intention. All she ever wanted to do was help people, but because she couldn't help herself, it was then like, you're running at a deficit, you're running at a negative. So 37 years old, 37 or 38, can't remember exactly, but bitch looks good. She's finally learned how to be in control of her emotion. So she knows she's never going to use her eating disorder or the eating disorder as a coping mechanism again. She's not going to be suicidal again. She knows how to be in the present moment, to stay in her body and choose where her energy and her focus goes. You're going to love, love, love this story. Let's get right into it.
Okay, good afternoon. So we're just doing a little badass check-in testimony because this, for everybody who doesn't know, my client Aimee and not mine, like my precious, but like, came into the program. We laughed, we trade strategies and tools. But I am so excited that you're here. You've just really blown my mind, and you have such an incredible big
Oh.
energy and light. I was like, the people have to hear from Aimee. And so this is Aimee. We've been working together for 3 months, I'd say,
Since
but we
July. It was
okay,
middle of July, I think.
cool, middle of July, and you took a break to get yoga
Two
certified.
weeks, yeah, 2 weeks
Okay,
of yoga breathwork course that I did.
beautiful. Love breath
Yeah.
work. So
Mm.
that's amazing. And so I would like you to share why you came into the Purpose program. So what was your biggest problem? What did you need? Where were you trying to go? So yeah, why'd you come in?
Wow, thank you, Lani. Well, the biggest issue I struggled with for 21 years of my life was anxiety. Just so much anxiety and low self-worth. I never really believed that I was worthy of love, although I didn't understand that that was the root belief of, causing all the anxiety. But I've been on like a bit of a spiritual quest, a journey to find peace. It's taken me all around the world, but just always coming back to the place of anxiety rather than a place of peace. And I've changed jobs multiple times, partners multiple times, always seeking for the answers in having the theoretical understanding that the answers within, and doing the spiritual things, the yoga, the meditation, reading all the books, following people like Eckhart Tolle on YouTube, and trying so hard, and then having moments where I would feel this peace, but then always just spiraling again and coming back to the place of fear and anxiety. And I think I never really understood the concept of how I was identifying with my story of what had happened in my past. And it's only through doing this program that I've now really understood how to be embodied, and that's the key that I was missing, I think. Even through all the countless yoga retreats and courses, I think I just was
I
always
taught
doing it
yoga
mostly
for
in my
6
head.
fucking years and meditation. That's not embarrassing. I don't know what is. It's like I was like the
Yeah.
epitome of what should be embodied and was just like
Yeah.
getting further and further. How did your anxiety manifest? Like
So
an eating
initially, it
disorder was
really,
one way.
yeah, a severe eating disorder. So that started when I was 17 years old. There was issues within the family, and I internalized a lot of pain and blame for all the conflict and disruption in the family. And parents divorced, then my mum and stepfather divorced, and there was just a lot of conflict growing up, and I totally internalized it all. Got into then an abusive relationship with somebody, which confirmed my low self-esteem and lack of self-worth. But the main the main way it manifested was anorexia. So I think I quickly learned that it was an area of my life that, I mean, I don't know how much truth there is in this, but
Yeah.
it was all about control.
Control.
Yeah, although
Yeah,
I was totally out of control. But
totally.
I think it's first started as I almost wanted to show that I was vulnerable and it wasn't my fault. All the issues in the family was not my fault, and I felt blamed. So I wanted to show some vulnerability. But I didn't know how, and I was so confused and desperate. So I just started like controlling food and skipping meals. And then the weight started dropping off, and a few people made comments like, "Oh, you look good," and then it just took over, and I just got so swept up in anorexia. And I would literally, like, for a good year, maybe 2 years, the whole of my A levels, all I did was compulsively study to smash to smash my A levels and to get the grades to go to university. I
I
isolated
was a total
myself from,
compulsive overachiever.
yeah,
Addicted.
totally,
Addicted to
yeah,
everything. Addicted to
totally,
gymnastics. Addicted to this, getting straight
yeah.
A's. Addicted to exercising. I'm gonna fucking run 10 hours a day. Like it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
totally. And at one point, yeah, I just lost so
It's
much
like
weight.
running
And
away from the present moment. It's like I can't go in my
yeah.
body. This is too painful. This is too gnarly. I can't even deal.
Mm.
So before you came into the program, what would you say that your like ability to get out of your head and get into your body was, like from 1 to 10? What would you say that your ability was before you came in?
I would say that it was probably around a 4. It wasn't too overwhelming every day, but it was definitely a roller coaster. It wasn't, I didn't have the awareness. Like when you offered for me to do this call, and the ego kicked in, like, the telling me that, oh no, run away, like, making excuses, and the low self-worth tried to take over. I think before I perhaps would have believed it a lot more quickly than I do now. Now I can just snap it out and come back into the embodiment and just say yes and do it, because it isn't about me. But before, I would say, like, yeah, 4 or 5. It wasn't so overwhelming. I wasn't living in the depths of despair and in a mental hell, which I was when I was 17, and in and out of that and in my 20s. But
So
it's definitely got better.
better than almost dying, but still no, right? But
Yeah, it
nowhere
wasn't
near
suicide.
your,
Yeah.
but nowhere near your full potential, nowhere near being able
Yeah.
to be the light. So we don't have to feel my light and force other
Yeah.
people, so we can just be it and then they can
Yeah,
feel it, right?
exactly. Although, like, I did go through a divorce, and there were moments after the marriage that I did plummet definitely back, and I had to take time off work. And this was only less than 2 years ago that I was actually back in that state. Not as severe with the eating disorder, but definitely those thoughts coming back in, and feeling overwhelmed and feeling completely buried by just negative self-talk. That's all it was.
I want to come back to that because that's such a great point of the whole epitome of what we do. It's not like, hey, your ego's going to disappear because you're going to be some
No.
numb person who doesn't feel anything. So I want to come back to that awareness when we get into your transformation. But before we get into the new Aimee, what were there? We all know there's fears. What were your fears about coming into the Purpose program and investing with this whole group of people that I got? Okay, so you had a friend in. So talk about
Yeah.
that. But so talk about how you found out about it, and then what were your fears personally?
Okay. So how I found out about it was through Kirsty. one woman cottage. So we went to school together. We were never like super close at school. And then she was really a massive source of support and inspiration. And we helped each other overcome the eating disorder. We started going clubbing, and there was a big group of us, and we just bonded one night when we were out partying, and totally just opened up to each other about, oh, I've had this problem with my eating disorder and anxiety. And she was like, oh, I'm the same, me too. And that was sort of the road to recovery. I don't know so much about her,
Not
but
hiding,
definitely
yeah.
for me, like, that was the first time I'd spoken about it to anyone, let alone someone who actually experienced the same and really understood me. So I always felt this soul sister connection to Kirsty. Makes me emotional thinking about it. But yeah, she's been such an angel. Like, we interact at points in our lives where we need like a huge transformation, and then we part ways and don't have any contact for years, and then we come back when it's needed. So I had started following her videos because I just thought she was going through such a transformation, and I didn't know that she was doing a program. I just saw her shares on Facebook, and then one day I saw her Wonder Woman, and that just blew me away. I remember listening to it and thinking, I can't believe this is the same Kirsty. So I watched it and then sent her a message like, what is this program you're talking about? I want it, and I want it now. So
I want in.
Yeah, I was already sold before I even watched the webinar, just based on her, because I felt like we had such a connection, and if it worked that way for her, I knew it would for me. So, and it has. So yeah.
So did you have any fears like, did the ego come in and be like, what if this doesn't work for you? What if
as it does for me, it does with anything that I embark on, which is like a program or a certification course or a qualification, even the yoga teacher training. I've always had that fear that I'm going to compulsively do it, like I did with the compulsive studying and
like
anorexia.
Use it as like a weapon instead of a tool. Like, I'm just going to change my addiction.
Yeah, sort of. So I had that awareness of, no, that's the old program. And I knew that it wasn't. I just had a knowing feeling that this was different, and this was going to transform my life. I knew it.
Okay, let's get to the good stuff. No, share. Just let your I guess let's start with right straight away when you came into a group of women who like the purpose program. So when you were just immersed into this like freaking like immediate support system, right? Like, you're not alone anymore. People have your back. Like, the same with that first journey. Like, holy shit, they're not judging me because like they understand, they've all experienced this too. So I'm not the odd one out. I actually like am totally understood. What shifts did you start experiencing like straight away? Like, first day, second day, first week, second week. So start with that, and then we'll get into like your biggest badass moment.
The most incredible thing that I first noticed was the sense of connection with the sisterhood. This is something that I've never in my life experienced. I have a lot of sisters, but to be connected to a global sisterhood, who are people that I've never met. I've never met you. I've never met so many women in this group, and I just feel so connected to them, like on a soulful level. Like, when they share their wins, when they're vulnerable and they share their pain, I feel it, and I support them, and I love all the love that gets shared, and that has been so transformative, just having that connection and knowing that I'm not alone. Like, that has been mind-blowing. But initially, like, the changes that I noticed in myself was, the biggest thing was like, holy fuck, like, I'm not waking up with anxiety. I'm waking up looking forward to my morning routine. Like, I'm gonna blast some tunes, I'm gonna dance naked, I'm gonna do my manifesting morning, I'm gonna do some breath work, I'm gonna do my affirmations, look at myself in the eyes and tell myself, I am beautiful, I am safe, I am worthy, I am connected, I'm divine. Like, I've never ever done this in my life. And at first, of course, it was uncomfortable.
And feeling it, because I actually did that a lot. Like, I had like paid a really lot of money for people to be like, did you do your affirmations and your journaling? And I was just like, I hate turtlings. This is so fucking stupid because like I was just like there was no awareness. I was outside of my body. There
Yeah.
was no connection to me and God. And it's like why it's like literally my trying to plug yourself in but not having it plugged into the wall and being like, I'm trying and turning the thing in and out and turning the
I am
electricity on and off.
I'm
I should
grateful
have
for the sunshine.
like yeah. I'm happy. Everybody, it's like, "Ugh!" Like
Yeah.
no one will talk to you because it's like, oh my God, she's like, so yeah, just like embodying
Yeah.
that.
Yes.
Amazing.
Yes.
I love that. But so often like I'll wonder like what's your I always love like to I still like what's this is why I like talking to people because I'm just like, dude, I love just hearing this. It's so amazing. I actually really get like the best data
Oh.
because I like really get to hear it from people instead of somebody hiding behind a screen or something like that. And it's like I like ask often like what's your biggest wish? And for purpose, I always get like I just want to wake up happy. It just kills me if I lived unhappy for so fucking long and I had no idea that it was just that of course I'm going to mess up. Of course I'm going to make mistakes. Of course the ego is going to say shit, but there is a way for me to embody and not fucking accept everything that my ego says and get so low to the point where I want to die. And my lowest point was not even 3 years ago. So it's like that's recent, you know what I mean? So to just hear, it's like, oh my gosh, like, of course you're worthy of it. That's not the question. The question is, are you not worthy of it? That has nothing to do with it. So that is like, I mean, scary enough. But if you said to somebody who was waking up, like, I mean, I used to wake up with severe anxiety. Like, I would come out of my dream, like, so mine was like constant heart beating. I just felt like always like heartburn almost. Like, it was just so much heartburn and I couldn't take.
I was having night terrors. I was literally
I
like
couldn't breathe.
in my 30s having night terrors, like screaming in the night where my flatmate would come in like, oh, are you okay? Like, are you being raped? What's happened? Like a child when they have night terrors and their mum has to come and soothe them and they're not out the dream yet. I would have that like only a few months back. It was crazy. And I think like I actually did have strategies. I had learned so many strategies, the pranayama, the yogic breath work, the yoga, the meditation, but because I wasn't embodied, they weren't having the effect that I hoped for. So I lost belief in them. So of course I wasn't going to continue religiously or have a solid routine in place where I would continually do it and know that was benefiting my health, because I didn't always feel the benefits. So I felt like I'd kind of lost faith a little bit. But then I just feel like the strategies that I have now, I've got so much faith in it because I can feel the difference. And the meditations every morning, I'm not up in my head, I'm actually embodied, and I look forward to it. I actually look forward to the meditation. It's no longer a chore or like, I haven't got time, how am I going to make? I make time. I get up at 5:30 every day, and that's my favorite part of the day because it's mine and it's silent and it's got that energy that's peaceful, and I just start the day feeling so incredible. And this is just so empowering, and I'm so unbelievably grateful, Lani.
I'm covered in goosebumps. Before I get to your biggest badass moment, what it's so amazing because it's a we. There's no I in team. Like, it's not about me. Like, it's not like this is it. It's like, dude, we do this. Like, every time we put more love and embodiment in the pot, every sister feels it. It's like so beautiful.
Yeah.
I just talked to somebody from Purpose last week that said, oh, are we frozen? There we go.
Sorry.
That's okay. I just talked to somebody from Purpose last week, and she was like, specifically said Aimee's just shares and her lives and her videos, like, it's helped me as much as the rest of the program. I'm like, I know, right? Because I always say, imagine if there was only one aspect of like what we're doing, it just wouldn't work. It's one-sided. It's like trying to like drive on like rectangle tires. Like, they need to be round, right? We need like every angle.
Exactly.
So the thing that you felt coming in is the exact same share that you're putting back in, which is like so rad, and why the community is so important and so helpful. So you're sharing it back.
It's incredible to think that I'm having an impact on these sisters' lives. Like, that just blows me away. but
It's
this is what it's all about.
amazing.
Yeah, on a soulful
Oh.
level. I'm helping people on a soul level, not just on the surface, you know.
Totally.
It's profound.
By
So
doing by journeying, you are helping people.
yes,
Is not the most
yeah.
mind blowing. It's like I was just trying to strangle people and save people, and they need to feel my love. And it's like, dude, you need to feel love first before you
Yeah,
fucking try and
exactly.
tell her. Like, it's so amazing. Okay, what's your biggest badass moment? Like, what would you say is the most like mind blowing, epic, amazing
Oh my
like,
goodness.
shift you've had since being?
It has to be the realization that I am worthy of love. And the specific healing session was the session in there, which is all about love and the concept, understanding the concept and getting it crystal clear in your mind. What is love? What is not love? And when you say it's fucking simple, it's either love or it's not love. Like,
Yeah.
I remember listening to that and being like, holy fuck, like, why have I been so confused and accepting things that are clearly not love? And I listened
Yes.
to that session just before I went on the 2-week yoga course and did all the pranayama, the breath work. So I was reflecting on that healing session for 2 whole weeks. And then when I was away and in my current relationship, we were messaging and I could clearly identify the things that were happening and the way he was communicating with me. I was so crystal clear, not mentally, but energetically first. But then, yeah, it was crystal clear in my mind as well.
Yeah, your
This
body is
stuff,
like,
yeah,
like
this
you try
doesn't
it, your
feel,
body just totally tells you the truth and we
yes.
ignore it. It's like, why am I balding? That's what I used to say. It's like, really, bitch?
Yeah, and I was just so crystal clear that actually this relationship, it doesn't feel right. I'm so sensitive and in tune now with my body. My body's telling me this is not love, and then the mind would try and argue that point and rationalize what he's saying, or maybe he's just insecure. No, this is abuse, this is not love. And then when I got back home, things escalated, and then it just was an almighty kind of event which ended it and just transformed, because I had that worthiness and I didn't accept his excuses. I didn't accept the treatment that was way below my standard. I feel like through this program, my standards have risen massively, and my ability to set boundaries and enforce them, because I know that I am worthy of so much more. I'm worthy of love, and I do not accept anything that is not love, and that was certainly not love. So he had to go. He vibrated out of my life. Thank you, goodbye, not welcome anymore. And now I'm just continuing my journey without any I'm just batting off anything that can pull me down and distract me from my path, which is
Isn't
truth
it
and love.
incredible that
Yes.
your realization that I am worthy of love means letting go of a relationship? So for me, like I would have done anything to be in one. I was like, oh, it's better to like almost die and be in a relationship than be alone,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like I had 2 options, like but being alone wasn't wasn't one. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was like, so the idea, once we actually have this awareness that it's not like, that's like saying anyone who does yoga is enlightened. That's fucking crazy. Like that's
By
just
far the
insane.
truth.
Yeah. They're the craziest motherfuckers around. I was insane when I was teaching, and so were the people that I taught with. We just had
Yeah.
no connection
Mm-hmm.
to truth. It was like this external vampire sucking thing, proving I'm good enough, and
Yeah.
one who has the most students is the best yoga teacher. That was like her gauge. But that idea that, like, I mean, this is women's kryptonite. I will tell you for a fact that 90% of women stop their journey because they would rather stay in a relationship that is below standards, unfulfilling, not love,
Yeah.
and just quit because I ain't going to be held accountable. I ain't going to be around other people who have the, the balls to freaking be alone for a second and rip the band-aid off and be super vulnerable. Like
Mm-hmm.
they'll quit.
Yeah.
They'll quit. So they'll
It
just
wasn't
drop
an
that.
option.
Yeah, it's like, so that's just like, I mean, anybody can look at you and just be like, holy fuck, my biggest fear. Like tell you, like, I can't
It
believe
was
you
my
did that. You're
biggest
so brave. My biggest fear is being alone.
It was my biggest fear, but it was
Same.
incredible how the healing sessions that followed one by one was the lotus one, where you're
Lotus
looking at the
flower.
mud and looking at the beauty in that and what you've learned and how you can grow from that. and then the play big. And that was my biggest fear, to be single. But I just knew that's what I had to do, because being in this relationship was just so confusing and so toxic, and just felt so uncomfortable, and it just wasn't in tune with everything that I want to accomplish in my life. And it's almost reached a stage now where I can't choose the option that doesn't align with my
Totally.
truths.
Yeah,
It's
it's
just
like
not an
drinking
option
bleach.
anymore.
It's like, yeah, I'm not going to drink bleach. I'm good.
And to reach that stage, though, because I think in the past I've always known that it's wrong, and I shouldn't be in this relationship. I shouldn't marry this person. I shouldn't stay in this marriage. I shouldn't do this. I shouldn't do that. I shouldn't treat my body so unkind, in such an unkind way. I shouldn't harm. I shouldn't overexercise. But to not have that true awareness and self-belief, and to be able to be embodied, once you're able to be embodied and you have that worthiness in your heart and that connection to soul, you can't betray yourself anymore. You just can't. It's not an option. So that has been a total game changer, because I know 100% I will never ever accept or get into an abusive relationship ever again.
I remember when I declared that, it was like 2 weeks before I met Chris, and I was like, all right, bitch. I was in my room in Bali by myself. I was like, all right, we are never getting, and I knew it. I was like, damn.
Yeah.
Like, that was a speech. Like, I got like goosebumps.
I love me now.
Yeah, I was like, I believe you. Who's talking? I believe you. What the fuck is happening?
Yes.
The other part is, like, our coping mechanism would be to control. So I did mine with eating and exercise. I tried to control my siblings. I would control my schoolwork. And so I was just super controlling. So all of our energy, which is insane when you think about it, because we can't control anybody and we can't change anybody. My whole marriage, I was trying to change him. You need to change. Stop doing this. Stop doing that. Start doing this. Start doing that.
Yeah.
And all of my energy was externally focused. So it was just like a crazy person, like the schizophrenic I was saying, like apple, 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 apple. It was like, dude, you're not going to change anybody. Like, let's go, right? It's like the tend to your garden. It's like, bitch, your garden is all fucked up. Like, you don't have the right to tell anybody I clean up their shit. So it just shifted into this, like, this beautiful awareness. And the true meaning of going within is not that we don't feel sad. It's not that we don't feel angry, blah, blah, blah. It's that we accept the feelings that we're feeling, because you can not ever, like, move forward while you are literally trying to change, get in the fucking time machine or take drugs or starve yourself to change the past. It's never going to fucking work. And it's so insane when we say this out loud, like, I was so confused why I was trying to change somebody and I couldn't control them. Are you kidding? What? It's so insane when we say it out loud. So just like, God, you have so much more time for activities when we stop trying to control the external and change everyone else.
It's so true. It's so true.
Okay, last thing. What would you say to women who are watching that are like, that sounds good, but like, I don't know. So if somebody has some reservations or some fears, or like, is it too woo-woo, or what will it work for me, right? Isn't that what would you say to a woman who knows that she needs help and is like deeply ready to take responsibility for her own happiness, but is afraid?
I would say, feel the fucking fear and do it anyway, and just know that you are never going to get these moments of your life back. And if you are not truly happy, then what the hell are you doing? You've got nothing to lose, absolutely nothing to lose. Like, this program and being connected in this sisterhood is absolutely the biggest blessing. It has transformed so many women's lives. Like, I never imagined that I would be able to truly believe it when I say I love myself, or to have to even have the self-confidence.
It's like up here. Like, oh.
Even to have the self-confidence to say yes, and to do this call right now, and to be recorded. Like, I remember doing my introduction video in purpose and shaking, holding the phone. Like, my name is Aimee. And I'm like, I just want to learn to love myself. But that's my core belief every day. I'm coming from a place of love now. And if you're not happy, you seriously have nothing to lose. You know, it's absolutely incredible. Like, you have all the answers within you. Just understand, like, you are not your story. This, whatever's happened to you in your life, whatever pain and suffering you've experienced, that's created these negative beliefs. Like, this program helps you to shed all those layers of negativity and get to the beauty inside, like the diamond inside you. Like, you are not your story. That's just what your mind has been telling you for all these years. Like, with me, like, I had that negative talk on a loop,
Dude, my shit was
replaying
blaring
over
like
and
a fucking
over.
1980s breakdancer blaring the
Yeah.
music. Like, I was like,
Oh, and it's so
I would be
exhausting.
annoyed. Like, I would try and watch a positive YouTube video and I'd be like, ugh, like, I
Yeah.
can't hear my suicidal thoughts. Like, I would like drown like out the positive thing that could help me to like
Yeah.
listen to the fucking, you know, that shit, that voice. It was like, yeah, just like I needed to listen to it. Like,
Yeah.
it was so insane.
And
And
who
it's,
doesn't?
go
Sorry.
ahead.
And
No,
who
you
doesn't
go.
want to be happy, healthy, peaceful, have incredible relationships, and to be able to then live in your purpose and have a greater impact in the world? So many people say, especially nurses like me, oh, I get into this profession because I want to help people. Well, if you really want to help people, help yourself first, and then you can actually help people on a soul level. And that is where the beauty of life is, and that is what is going to transform lives and raise the collective energy in the world, and make this world a better place.
Totally, because the hamster wheel ain't helping nobody. Those accidental random moments, it's like, okay, so anybody can lose 100 pounds. We can trap them in a room. We can freaking handcuff them. We can force them to walk on a treadmill and we can feed them. But does that mean that they're going to keep the weight off? What, like, that's like, you know, anybody can fucking make money. Anybody can make money in a month. You just like, you know, message everybody and do a million sales calls. Like, but does that mean you're fulfilled? It's like, dude, those ups and downs are so exhausting and so unnecessary. And like, we'll end with this, just bringing it back to the beginning about having that awareness is like,
Yeah.
I think people actually have this idea that, oh my God, I have to be perfect and I need to be perfect. And this is just the way that it's going to be. If I'm not perfect, I'm not doing good enough. Instead of progress, not perfection. But having that awareness means that we don't fucking nosedive. Like, I know you're never going to get into an abusive relationship again. You have this awareness, like it's in your soul. Like, you're never going to freaking use food as a coping mechanism again. You have this awareness, like you can, yeah, like you can't, you're sacred. This is sacred. This isn't, oh my God, just fuck off, like blah, blah, blah. So instead of it being an instant gratification, wham, damn, thank you, man, now, it's like, dude, this is a life journey. Like,
It really
just
is.
that
Yeah.
peace of mind, like knowing I'm never gonna starve myself again. I'm never gonna freaking binge and hurt my body again. Like, I'm not gonna be stingy and scarce again. Like, am I gonna have ego comments that are like, you're not good enough? Yeah. Am I
Of
gonna believe
course.
them? Absolutely not. Am I gonna react to them? No. Am I gonna act
No.
on them and offload on other people and try and control other people? Not gonna fucking happen.
No.
It's so boring.
No.
Like, the orgasmic, miraculous energy of being embodied is so much more interesting to me than the fucking boringness of trying to control
Exactly.
everybody around me. It's like, ugh.
Exactly. And of course, there's still going to be, like, life is a journey. Of course, there are going to be challenges in life, of course. But we can so much more quickly come back to our heart center and come back to a grounded place where we know that we don't have to believe these thoughts that are spiraling out of control in our head. We're not going to let them spiral out of control. Of course, the thoughts will come. Negative thoughts might still occur, but you know not to believe them. And then you have these strategies, the breath, or clap your hands, or whatever your strategy is that you use. You can so much more quickly come back to a place of where you're grounded, and it's so empowering because you're not going to waste your energy on mindless worries
So
and
boring.
spiraling off into anxiety. Like, who does that help? What's the point? So just do it. If you're debating on whether or not to do purpose, just listen to me. Like, I have been suicidal. I've hated myself. I've had no confidence for years, 21 years. And it's only now the ripe age of 38 that I can honestly say, like, I just wish I'd learned this earlier. I wish I met, like, well, I mean, you've only been doing this for a few years, so I guess like this was my journey I had to walk. But
Totally. I know. Isn't it funny? Like, my one regret is like, I wish I could have done it sooner. That's so amazing. You're so beautiful. Your essence,
Lani.
your energy. I'm so proud to just be on this journey with you and be like walking it.
Blown away, honestly. Like, I've just got tears, goosebumps. I'm just so in such a happy place these days. Like, I just want to change the world like you are, you know, and help people on a soul level, and just help.
You are.
Just help people.
I already heard it. I heard it from the horse's mouth. I heard other women telling it to me already about this. Yeah, I'm so proud of you, and just being able to share freely. Like, we never would think we'd be. It's like so funny. The old Lani is like, you're fucking high if you think that I would be telling everybody my craziest moment. And now I'm like, you're high if you think I'm not going to talk about my craziest moment. So
I'm proud of you.
So
I'm so proud of you. Like, look at the work you're doing. I'm sure it doesn't even feel like work because it's coming from your heart, isn't it? So yeah, you are a gift. You really are. And I'm so grateful. I'm grateful for everything that's happened in my life to lead me to this point right here, right now. That's where
right
we
here,
are.
right now. I love you so much. I'm so proud of you.
Thank you
so much for sharing.
Thank you. Thank you so much for this opportunity to share everything that I've learned on my journey, because yeah, hopefully it can inspire people to just say yes, just fucking do it. Do it now. Just do it.
Such amazing results. So freaking proud of the incredible women. It's just so amazing to watch a woman go from withering and miserable and low to like embracing and flying and using your wings. So if you want results like these, you've got to check out, come into, and be a part of the Purpose Program. Now, the Purpose Program is going to give you really simple strategies to get out of your head and get into your body, to learn how to choose where you want to put your focus. So right now you have these subconscious stories running that are actually making you really unhappy, but it's not happening now. So I created out of my own need, because I was literally suicidal and at rock bottom, and I had tried everything I felt. I tried crazy stuff, so many things, and I ended up suicidal. So I thought, this is insane. I can't be like trying so hard and then being so unhappy and so miserable that I don't even want to be here. So what I did was I created this way to get out of my head and get in to my body. And in our body right now is really, sis, the only place where you feel safe. We can't feel safe in the past, and we can't feel safe about dreaming or freaking out about the future. And my jam is, the simpler it is, that the easier you can do it, right? It's like if you have one step, you can do that versus if you have 100. So I'm like, let's do this as fast as possible and have as much fun. So in the Purpose Program, you're gonna get everything that you need, super simple, cater to your schedule, and you'll learn the same things that I've learned and taught thousands of women all over the world to get out of their head, into their body, and choose their feelings and what they focus on and what thoughts they give energy to. Now, what you're gonna get in the Purpose Program is a community of hundreds and hundreds, so many goosebumps, of like-minded women. So this is the part where society comes in and it's like, you're a threat because you're prettier, and if you have a man, then that's threatening to me because there's not enough for me. And that's ego. That's not love. So what we get to do is actually really experience a sisterhood and like a family where so many women are so happy when you win and when you start making these shifts and growing your confidence and growing your power. And they're just as happy for you as if they did it. It's like next level. Every woman that's ever come in is like, I didn't even know this was possible. I was like, thank you. It's like so amazing. And I mean, there's so many parts of the Purpose Program. But another really amazing thing is you get support and a community and help and love and guidance for life. I tried, again, so many programs that didn't work for me. Oh, here's 6 weeks. Okay, well, I felt a little bit okay for 6 weeks and then I dropped on my ass again, or 6 months or a year or whatever. But we're constantly evolving as humans. If we're not growing, we're dying. So that part, that access, you get support 24 hours a day for the rest of your life if you want. This is how we get the results. We grow together, we're invested, and we care. So if you're like, damn, I need to hear more about this, click the button below. You can hear more, everything that's included, and you can join the Purpose Program today. So excited. Hope to see you in there. Mwah! Bye, sis.